Okay, and we're recording.
Hey!
Hey, what is happening, Internet? Jack here for Panel by Panel. I'm joined today by my co-host, Dan.
First time in Indian. Fuck it up already.
Yeah.
Well...
A whole 4 seconds and I fucked it up in front of the guest.
We'll recover.
Hopefully.
Okay, so this is a new podcast, right?
It is a new podcast. This is the first episode, so, oh boy.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird. Well, it's not going to be weird. We've done podcasts before.
Yeah, no, we've done multiple podcasts. We should know it at this stage.
We should be eased into it at that.
Yeah, but there's some apprehension.
We've never done a two-man show, though.
We haven't,
We've never done a two-man show.
We've never attempted such a feat.
Oh, no. It's going to be weird because I'm scared that we're going to talk for a little bit and then just go silent all of a sudden. Like, well, one of us tries to think of something.
Okay, well, I feel like we got to make a pact at this stage that if that happens, we just say a load of gibberish just to even prevent songs from occurring.
We just break into song.
Yeah,
just like just like Disney style. Just go for it.
Yeah, no, that'll work. Yeah. And I think it's a good kind of podcast pro tip. That's a good way to start off.
Just break into song if you run out of things to say.
Yeah, pro tip from the experts. Yeah.
Okay, so on Panel by Panel, we take a comic story every week. We talk it to death, and we say what we liked about it, how it went down, and what we would change if we could change it. But before we get to that, Dan, tell me about comics.
Comics are fabulous things, Jack.
What are they?
They are pictures with that tell stories.
Like memes.
Like memes, better than memes. Shut up.
There's nothing better than memes, Dan. Let's not anger the audience before we start.
That is a good point. Memes are like, well, most internet memes are just kind of an evolution of comics, right?
Yeah, no, they're the simplified down version.
Yeah, because I mean, comics started off as like in newspapers. They were like a 3-panel story.
Exactly.
And you had stuff like, there was like the Calvin Hobbes thing. It'd be like 4 panels in a straight line. And that's all you get, but that's essentially what a meme is. Holy shit.
Yeah, no.
It's just like, it's just 4 pictures, or 1 picture, and a caption, and that's it.
Exactly. We've come so far, yet not come far enough.
Yeah, I know, right? We've somehow devolved.
We've gone in a circle.
Yeah.
We've circled back around to the old comic news thing, but that doesn't matter.
I was talking to someone about this, and I don't know, it literally could have been on the other podcast, I don't know. It's at that stage, but... like, you know, with the Emoji Movie coming out, how long do you reckon it is before we just get a meme movie?
I want that, though. Like, I do want that.
You see, it's one of those things that I'm scared to say that I want it, because they will make it. You know they will.
How do you do a meme movie? Do you do it set in the meme world, or...
Okay, well, I'll tell you how you don't do it.
How do you
don't set it inside a teenage boy's smartphone.
What if
you don't do that?
What if it's like Pokemon, and he wants to be the very best like nobody ever was, but he wants to make the dankest memes that like nobody ever has?
That's a good way. If it's Pokemon but with memes.
Exactly.
I'd watch that.
You gotta get all those dat boys.
Yeah. And like, what's that Pepe the Frog who became like a white supremacist icon? And he's like the villain or something?
Yeah, even though Pepe stands for like homosexuality and whatnot as well. Like
really?
The original Pepe comic had him living with 4 other male characters. And it's just like, Pepe has no agenda. Pepe loves everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Humans are fucked up that they can twist something like that.
Like, straight away.
Yeah. Almost immediately. But Pepe had his day, but I guess we can't really use Pepe memes anymore.
No more Pepe. There was a stage where there was a thing, and I can't tell if people were just fucking with me around, but I think it got to a point where there was like rare Pepes. Like, there's certain memes that you gotta find.
You gotta go deep web.
Yeah, you gotta find them on the deep web. You gotta like your Onion and your Thor browser and just like look up your Pepe memes. You spend your Bitcoin on Pepe memes.
Actually, you know, I'll tell you what. I wouldn't watch a meme movie, but Wreck-It Ralph 2, it's about Wreck-It Ralph on the internet. I think they could cover memes in that.
They definitely could.
And I think that's the extent you go to, and you don't go any further.
Exactly.
You don't set a movie around bloody someone singing Smash Mouth Rockstar or All-Star.
Oh, God. Because imagine just that's one of the songs in Wreck-It Ralph. It's like part of the soundtrack is All-Star. The internet would lose its shit.
That would be a great gag, and they could feasibly do it.
They could.
That is actually the one problem with the meme movie. It's the fact that like you'd have to get so much copyright things of so many people. Like,
it'd be like Ready Player One. Like, you get a Spielberg to do your meme movie.
Except I don't think there's a company out there, and I say this, and I know that like a week later someone will actually do it. But I don't think there's a studio out there at the moment who would spend that much money on
Sony Animation making the meme movie.
Yeah, except I bet Sony Animation would be so cheap. They'd make the meme movie, but they would invent new memes for the movie and not use any actual
They'd have to be PG memes as well.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be PG memes.
Okay, let's bring it back to comics.
Yeah, let's try.
We talked comics for a whole 30 seconds and went to memes.
Hey, we're breaking the ice. We're kind of opening it up.
Exactly. Okay. This is a more personal, more laid-back show. It's a lot easier. Let's not even reference that other terrible show.
Yeah, that's
whatever. That we still pair on once a week.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you think because there's two of us, we'd probably talk over each other less. But I bet they'll just get to points where we're like, oh, yeah. It'll just be a mess
shouting back and
with
forth.
two people. But okay, anyway, let's break it down.
Okay, Dan, how did you get into comics?
Let me think. It was either because with like early memories, I feel like I can't differentiate when they actually happened.
Yeah, like what's the earliest comic book thing you personally remember?
Okay, well, every Friday, I was in primary school, and every Friday we would get, me and my brother, my mum would take us to Porter's in Douglas Court. I don't know how many things I can name drop here without information over.
They're going to track you down now.
Yeah, I know. All the fans.
All two listeners know you live in Douglas and you go to Porter. Is Porter still a thing?
It is. There's one in town.
There's two in town.
Is there?
One on Paul Street, one on by GameStop. Doesn't matter. Back to
that's okay.
Continue.
We'd get. I feel. Was it it was either a Spectacular or it was Spectacular Spider-Man.
It's Spectacular because that's what I hopped into as well.
Yeah, and they were like, but they would give you like one Spectacular Spider-Man comic book story, and they pretty much got around to all the villains. I think it was a pretty
that's awesome
fleshed out thing, and the comics were. I think they were either A4 or slightly bigger than A4 because they came packed with like little fun things. I don't know if there's crosswords in them, but there's some stuff at the back.
Kind of interactive stuff, like a little maze and stuff.
And every time it would happen like this, right? So I think the one I can remember most vividly is I think it was a Green Goblin comic.
Okay,
it was a Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. It was Goblin Wars because the cover was like half Hobgoblin, half Green Goblin.
Okay,
it was a big thing.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I couldn't really read, so my brother would read them. Not to me, he'd read them to himself like a greedy bastard. And he would read them in about 20 minutes, and then I would look at the pictures, and he would relay the story to me in the abridged version. The abridged version of what was maybe a 20-page issue.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like the idea, he's like, who's that? He's like, I don't know, it's the fucking Pumpkin Hulk, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. He could be complete bullshit to me. He was probably the least reliable source ever.
Who's that old woman with Peter Parker? Oh, that's his lover, Mary Jane.
Yeah, that's Mary Jane. Yeah. That's probably my earliest memory. That, or I remember once I got a crap ton of Wolverine comics.
Oh, yeah?
And back then, that Wolverine series, I don't know which one it was pretty gritty.
Oh, yeah?
It was really gritty. Like, sometimes there'd be Deadpool issues, and Deadpool would show up. Pretty cool. But, like, the cover was like a shirtless Wolverine, and he just had like a lot of arrows sticking into him.
Oh, that's awesome! Like in the Wolverine, when they shot him, ninja stuff.
So I mean, like there'd be all this crazy stuff like that, and he would fight Sabretooth and be super gritty. So,
dude, yours is much darker than mine.
Really?
Yeah, mine is one of my earliest memories is my parents I was a child who never slept. They had to take me out driving in the car, and I'd fall asleep. And they'd bring me up the stairs in the buggy, like, don't wake him. Oh god! Up until like the age of 5 or 6. So one of the ways they were able to like knock me out was they just throw on a few videotapes, like with a TV, and eventually I'd just fall asleep to it. The same happens with my little cousin. And one of the videotapes we had was I don't know what it was called, but it was a few episodes from Batman the Animated Series. It was probably just like the same 3 or 4 episodes on loop. Mm-hmm. But I still remember, and it's like the first Batman memory I have. I've described it to you before. It's like he comes down in like that bat silhouette, lands, looks up at the criminals, and it's just the 2 white eyes. I can remember that from being like 3 and like, dude, this guy's fucking insane. He's so cool. I didn't even know who he was. I was just some guy in a bat suit. Nice. I'll be honest, when I was like up until the age of 12, I thought Batman had bat powers.
Really?
Thought he had superpowers. I'm like, oh, he can summon bats whenever he wants. He can fly.
I mean, technically he can do those things, but they're all fueled by that sweet dollar.
Dollar. Like, fuck, what was that? Yeah, have you read the first volume of Justice League, or even seen the animated movie Justice League War?
I haven't.
Well, there's a hilarious moment in that. Well, hilarious. There's a funny moment in that where the Flash is talking to Green Lantern is talking to Batman, and they're in the sewer. You're like, oh, so you got bat powers, right? And he's like, no, not at all. So you can fly, right? And he's like, no, not at all. He's like, you're Dracula. He's like, no, not at all. So you're just a crazy man in a bat suit. I had that moment when I was 5. Because just like Green Lantern, I freaked out. I'm like, but he's just a man in a bat suit. That's complete bullshit. What?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, that's actually kind of cool because he can fight Superman. What?
Yeah.
And probably next after that was Spider-Man the Animated Series. Like the 90s one. I remember that watching on Jetix. It's insane. It's awesome. Got me into the character.
Yeah.
I loved the cartoons as a kid, but didn't start reading comics till I was 13, I think, 12. It was after. I remember buying my first comic after walking out of the Avengers movie. So that was 2012.
It was that late.
That was that late.
Fuck me.
Yeah, I haven't been reading comics that long.
Jeez, like it's funny. Like it's either probably you or John, like the one of my friends who knows the most about comics, and the fact that
Continue.
Like that took place in like you got all that knowledge in about 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Fuck no.
5 years.
Yeah.
Like when you commit yourself to something.
Yeah.
And first issue was Spectacular Spider-Man.
Nice.
It was him fighting. It was the very end of a story arc because it was like a big event where he fought the Spider Slayers. The Spider Slayer had upgraded all the villains, and he had upgraded. Who's the guy that Michael Mando plays? Scorpion.
Mac Gargan.
He had upgraded Mac Gargan Scorpion, and the issue opens with them fighting on a spaceship flying into orbit. And Mac Gargan Scorpion's like the Hulk size, and he's invulnerable. And J. Jonah Jameson Jr. is flying the plane, and the reveal is that the Spider Slayers are hunting down J. Jonah's family. So J. Jonah Sr., who's dating Aunt May at the time, he's hunting them. J. Jonah Jameson's also being attacked, and Spider-Man has to save all of them. And in the end, he calls the Avengers to help him. And the very last shot is just this big explosion, and you think Spider-Man's won, and they pan over, and J. Jonah Jameson's wife has a spire through the chest.
Damn.
So my first issue of Spider-Man opened with one of the coolest fights I've ever seen. The Avengers turning up, and fucking J. Jonah Jameson's wife being stabbed in the chest. I'm like, I'm so on board for all of this.
That's the equivalent of the first movie you see being like fucking I don't know what's a like The Godfather or something like that. Like you get all the cake,
isn't it?
You're starting with desserts.
Like this is like you're having your first comic be like The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
It's like if that's your first Batman story, I feel bad for you because nothing works after that.
That's it. Yeah.
But fuck, I read it for like I'd say 100 issues after that because I read 50 issues. Then Superior Spider-Man happened. Then all of Superior Spider-Man. Then like 20 issues after that because I got bored after Superior Spider-Man. Okay, now that we've gotten our secret origins out of the way.
Yeah. That is important for every superhero story.
It is. You gotta get your secret origins. I'm gonna get one from every guest every week.
Yeah. And now that we spent 20 minutes talking about Spectacular Spider-Man, let's talk about Hulk instead.
Yeah. So the premise of the show is basically we pick a story every week and we break it down, and I'm gonna let whoever I bring on to interview be the person to pick the story. So Dan, we've both read World War Hulk. Shall we talk about World War Hulk?
Yes, let's. World War Hulk is kind of a funny one because it is a direct sequel to Planet Hulk.
It is. It's the third act of Planet Hulk.
Yeah, because I think you could probably get them all into one omnibus if you wanted.
I think it's like a two-parter or something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's funny because Planet Hulk, although I'm sure it's a great story, I haven't read it.
It's good, but it's long. It's like Nightfall. Nightfall is a great Batman story, but it's so long. Yeah,
and it's one of the thing about Nightfall, though, is that I think Nightfall, there's a lot of stuff to cover in Nightfall. But Planet Hulk, I think you can just say Hulk goes to a gladiator arena, he makes some friends, and then he rises up and he kills the Red King.
Exactly.
Spoilers, I guess. What the fuck have you been listening for?
Yeah.
And then it's on the planet of Sakaar.
My thing is, I love the story of Planet Hulk, but they spend so much time on Sakaar. It's like the end of Return of the King.
Okay.
Where it's like, okay, we were out of the gladiator arena on issue 6. Oh, there's 10 more issues. Oh boy. But yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah. So stop me at any point to get something wrong, because I'm sure you will. You know it back to front. Obviously, you've read it a million times, right? You
read
know
it a whole once.
Yeah. You know all the source material. So basically, Hulk, he becomes what is essentially king of this planet. He is king of the planet.
He is.
He becomes king of Sakaar, and he gets a wife.
Yeah.
Named. Oh, I can't remember her
name. I can check here. Okay, no, I can't.
And it's one of these things that he just Hulk is completely separate from Banner and no longer shows up.
No,
Banner is lost in the Hulk's mind.
It's weird though because the Hulk is genuinely happy all the same. He's not angry anymore. They make a point that he's like, I'm finally happy being the Hulk, and
he's reached a full level of human level of intelligence as the Hulk.
Yeah, they've almost. It's not even that he's cut Banner out. It's more they've become the one guy now.
Yeah.
Where it's Banner is I can embrace being the Hulk. This is a world that needs a Hulk.
Yeah.
But I don't have to be angry the whole time.
Yeah. And I think that makes him probably one of the most dangerous characters in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yeah.
As we see.
Hulk, this is the story that proves how dangerous the Hulk is.
And I think it kind of... I don't know, how clear, the limits of Hulk's strength were, in previous comics, but this one kind of establishes it as the angrier you make him, Like, he could, if he is infinitely angry, he can be infinitely powerful.
This is, I think, the highest I've ever seen the Hulk strength at.
Yeah.
The World Breaker form.
It's gotta be, unless you count, like, that weird, dumb, like, 60s issue where he, like, sits on a mountain or some shit like that.
I mean, when he lifts him. I can sit on a mountain.
I thought the thing was he sat on the mountain and he just compressed it down to flatness.
That's from Secret Wars, and basically they're in like this mountain base, and then it gets dropped on all the heroes, and they're like, "Oh no, the mountain!" And the Hulk just like stands up and holds it up. He's like, "All right, everybody out, Hulk hold mountain." Sits on a mountain.
I could have sworn I heard that somewhere. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Okay. And there's another episode the day the Hulk sat on a mountain.
So the lead up to Planet Hulk is that basically the Illuminati, which aren't the bad Illuminati, they're just all the smart leading Marvel characters.
I've got them here: Iron Man, Black Bolt, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It does sadden me that like one of the members like, wait, do we have all of those characters? We have all those characters in the Marvel MCU right
Except Reed Richards.
Except Reed, fuck.
Except Stretchy Man. So you could replace him with Hank Pym if you wanted.
Well, you're right, actually, yeah. What saddens me, though, is that, like, Black Bolt... Like, I mean, now, I haven't seen Inhumans, the TV show. I haven't seen it.
Do you want to see it?
I'm going to watch the first episode.
Yeah, I might go see the IMAX one.
Yeah, no, if it's showing anywhere near us, then I probably do. I think that's a day out for
exactly, you make a thing about it.
But, like, I feel like, even looking at it from now, I feel like they fucked up Black Bolt.
Oh, straight away. He doesn't feel intimidating.
Yeah, you're right. And what kills me is that Vin Diesel was going to play him in the movie.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
If you could cast Black Bolt again, who would you cast now? Excluding Vin Diesel and the guy they got.
Oh, that's a good question, because I feel like, well, after reading Planet Hulk, I mean, like, he isn't a brute, like, he's part of the Illuminati, he's a thinker.
Yeah.
Like, he's a leader, he's a proper one.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Okay, stay with me.
Okay.
What about Jason Statham?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You have mine beat. I was going to say Tom Hardy. He's not in the MCU, he's intimidating with his eyes, and we don't have to hear his weird nowhere accent.
You know, I would take that over Statham, because I think Tom Hardy can vanish into roles, but Statham doesn't have that ability.
Although I'd still love to see Statham in there somewhere.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to hear that he's British, because he just wouldn't.
You know who you get Statham as?
Who?
Union Jack.
Oh, yeah!
I've got as a cameo, have him fighting somebody, and he takes off like the big helmet, and it's just Jason Statham underneath. That would be great.
But is Captain Britain, is he DC or is he Marvel?
I think he's Marvel as well. I always get confused between Union Jack and Captain Britain.
That's the image that came into my head when you talked about Union Jack.
Are they the same character? Are they related?
It'd be weird if they had two Britain's huge heroes.
Oh, I like the idea that all the superheroes only live in America.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess back to the story.
Alright, so the Hulk is too big of a threat, so they shoot him into space.
Yeah, they strap him to a big rock and they fire him into space, and he lands on Sakaar.
Yeah.
Where he colonizes, he lives there and he beats the Red King, becomes a king, and he's really angry about it.
If you've ever seen the movie Gladiator, it's the movie Gladiator.
Yeah, except he doesn't, spoilers, die at the end.
No.
Yeah.
Or does he? No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Everybody else does, but he doesn't.
Yeah. But then the Illuminati... But it's not something it's a rocket they send, but it explodes and it kills the Hulk's now wife.
The ship they arrived in, basically, the ship the Hulk arrived in explodes.
Yeah.
And it's the Hulk's belief that the Illuminati had planned this.
Yeah.
That they were like, oh, they sent a time bomb, so when I was like 6 months out, it would just explode and kill me.
Yeah.
Which, I guess, yeah, it's kind of...
I mean,
I'd agree with
I wouldn't put it past them. Like, Civil War was some dodgy stuff, you don't know what Tony's
This is post-Civil War Tony Stark as well, so
I see,
he's a changed man.
Yeah, and in fact, I mean, Reed Richards was also on his side during Civil War, so they're shady bastards now.
Reed Richards has also thrown himself into the silence because Sue Storm left him in Civil War.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange was... Actually, what did Doctor Strange do in Civil War?
I don't feel like he had a huge role in it.
No, is he the one who... No, I'm thinking of Cloak and Dagger, actually, because I'm like, Doctor Strange teleported. That's Cloak and Dagger.
Oh.
I don't know.
So basically, Hulk is really angry because his wife has been killed by this exploding pod, and he assumes pretty justifiably that it's the Illuminati who did it. So he returns to Earth, but first he takes a stop by the moon.
Yeah, so the story opens with these guys, and they're like announcing, like, hey, what's going on in space? There's like this big meteor shower. Oh god, a comet just exploded. And it's just the Hulk on top of his ship just punching through comets. Which is real weird and real funny. And the first shot we get is the Hulk landing on the moon with the Inhumans.
And so Black Bolt is there, and Black Bolt And there's a line later on in the comic book that basically says that I think Spider-Man, he says that, well, I thought Black Bolt was the second most powerful person in the universe, which is, I mean, technically maybe, because basically if he says a word, like with a whisper he could topple a building.
Exactly.
With a shout he could probably destroy a country.
Yeah, he's the equivalent of 10,000 nuclear bombs or something like that. There's some like mad scale for Black Bolt.
So basically he lets Hulk have it.
Yeah, he whispers one word and blasts the Hulk like half a mile away.
But the Hulk just gets angry and he takes it, and it's pretty fucking great.
Where's the line? There's one line here I really love, and it's from the Hulk, and he turns, he's like, I don't want to hear a whisper. I want to hear you scream.
That's great.
He leaps forward at Black Bolt, and we don't see what he does to him.
The next time we see Black Bolt is in a holographic message that Hulk projects into New York, I want to say,
across the world. Yeah, but you see in Times Square, it's like a massive Hulk.
Yeah. And then it's just him holding a battered to shit Black Bolt in front of the camera.
What is the timescale he gives them? It's like you have 1 day to evacuate or something like that. You have 1 day.
It's 24 hours.
You have 24 hours to give me the Illuminati, and everybody's just like, let's just evacuate. Everybody out of New York. Yeah. We're fucked.
And in this time, basically, they throw everything they possibly can at the Hulk.
Oh yeah, no.
And the thing is, Hulk, actually, it's important to mention, he's got a certain amount of cronies with him.
Yeah, his warband.
He's got the warband. He's got a Korg. He's basically the Thing.
Big rock man.
Stronger.
Who's being played by Tato... No, wait. Who's the director on the next?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Yeah. He's playing him in the movie.
I'm so happy they're doing Korg. He's so cool. He's got a guy with him who's like a giant bug.
What's that? Meek? Yep.
There's a woman with him.
Elot, E-L-L-O-E. And
I think there might be two others.
There's Hiruma.
And there's Brood. Brood is a freaky ass dude. He's like Alien.
Yeah, Brood's one of the Brood, which are like the xenomorphs of that universe.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But Meek is the one I want to talk about, because Meek is a Sakaran. And in Guardians 1, the people working with Ronan are revealed to be Sakarans. And one stage when Yondu knocks off the mask, they have the little what's the thing bugs have by the face?
Oh, the kind of mandibles.
They have the mandibles. So in theory, in Ragnarok, we might see more of the Meek kind of characters, which would be awesome.
Guardians movies are just great for universe building, aren't they?
Oh, so good.
They pump so much juice into those movies. So he and his warband, who are obviously not as powerful as Hulk, but are really badass, and no one can seem to fight them.
Apparently, they're on level with base level Hulk,
which is pretty.
That's
terrifying.
Insane strength. Like, that is.
And Jack, we were talking earlier about tie-in issues, in which you say like basically every Marvel character has a jab at Hulk, and none of them can hack it.
I'm not a fan of event comics. I wasn't a fan of Civil War 2 or Time Runs Out or the new Secret Wars. I hate them. I'm like, they're just money grabs and they ruin proper stories. Because imagine you're a writer for Marvel and you're like, oh, I got this big Spider-Man arc planned, and then when you get 6 issues into, like, oh yeah, you need to do 4 issues to tie into this big story. Oh, okay, I guess, but that interrupts my flow of story, but whatever.
And the fact that it isn't one mind behind the story, because like if someone's telling a massive story arc like that, they're basically saying, okay, now you guys in your comics, you're supposed to tell my story.
Exactly. That's what Jeff Johns did with Brightest Day. You know, that where all the characters come back to life and they're fighting the dead versions. That works great because it's all one big crossover.
Yeah, and I mean, how do you kind of hand off a part of your story to someone else?
Exactly.
And how do you kind of coordinate it? And I mean, a lot of the times it doesn't really work.
It's working better for DC now, but for Marvel, it feels like an editor just gives you a note, like, okay, you need to do three comics based in the world where Captain America's Hydra now. I don't care what story you're doing.
3 sticky notes on your desk when you get in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love the idea. It's like Captain America, next sticky note is next sticky note Hydra.
And you're just like, fuck.
This again.
Okay, so like Iron Man, I think he gets like an advanced Hulkbuster suit.
Yeah, he flies into space and he's like, okay, I'll take care of this. I got this. This is mine. And then Doctor Strange is like, you can't fight him. He's more powerful and angry than he's ever been.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with him. And here's one of the points I really don't like about this comic. Okay. They keep going back to talk to the Sentry.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see it where Reed Richards and Tony Stark are like, okay, we know you're probably the only one strong enough to stop the Hulk. Wanna help us?
Yeah. And that's like, I mean, I had never heard of the Sentry before I read this book, I'll be honest. I'm like...
He's one of the 5 Marvel versions of Superman. You got the Sentry, you have the Hyperion, you got Blue Marvel, Captain Marvel, Wonder Man.
It is stupid, and I think if there is one like kind of thing that's kind of holding this series down, it is the fact that the Sentry is just like in a shack somewhere, watching TV, watching this all unfold.
He's just like, could get involved, but I don't know, my spooky side could take over.
That's like, I mean, how spookier can you get? I mean, like than the Hulk threatening to destroy.
The Sentry does have an evil side. You see, it's like the equivalent of Injustice Superman, but he just keeps you locked away. I think it's like the Void or the Doomed or something like that. But he's terrified that's going to take over, and it does eventually. That's. Have you read Siege?
No.
Siege is one of the other events I really like, and it's right after this, where Norman Osborn becomes the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., I want to say, or the head of Hammer, or one of those, and he builds his own Avengers. He's like, we're the Avengers now, and he has Hyperion on there, but Hyperion is like the dark and evil version, and the theory is that since it's Hyperion after, not Hyperion, sorry, what's this guy? Sentry after World War Hulk. Because he does use his powers, he went evil because of that.
Okay.
This has knock-on effects.
So it is kind of hard to root for Sentry when basically his whole thing for the issue is, no, I don't want. Yeah, that's he keeps on saying that, and you're like, every now and then Tony Stark will come back to him and it's like, you see this hero? He beat him half to death, and he's like our strongest hero. And so you'll be like, and then 5 minutes later, Tony Stark will come back to him and it's like, okay, you see this hero? He beat him half to death. He's our strongest. He
broke
hero.
Luke Cage's skin. We didn't even know that's possible.
Yeah, and it'll keep on coming back to him, and I do enjoy how there is like a bit where basically just all the heroes do try to take a jab at the Hulk, and he beats pretty much all. Like I think there's a bit where Iron Fist tries to punch Korg, and it just does nothing.
There's a great tie-in issue actually, because I love these tie-in issues, and my personal favourite one is the X-Men one, where I'm going to tell the story for a second.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot. This might be 2 episodes.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. There's a great tie-in where he goes to the X-Men mansion. He's like, I want Charles Xavier. He's an honorary member of the Illuminati. Give him to me. And Charles is like, alright children, everyone into the basement. The Hulk has come for me. And Beast opens the door and he's like, I'm not giving up Charles Xavier. He's like, you can't come into the mansion. I haven't said you can come in. So Beast grabs the door frame, does a 2-footed kick into the Hulk.
Classic Beast 2-footed kick.
Doesn't affect him. Hulk flicks him away. He's like, okay, now give me Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier, it's cool, I'll go with them, I don't mind. And then every one of the students who are just like these teenage kids who just got their powers are like, we can take the Hulk, right guys? They throw everything they can at him, doesn't affect him. Then I think it's like Emma Frost, he smacks her and she leaves it such a psychic hit, every psychic in the world feels it. Something stupid and bullshit like that, I love it. And this sets off the Juggernaut. And Juggernaut's like, oh, I've got this. This is my moment.
He's like the car in the garage. It's like someone starts up and he just goes flying through the wall and he's there.
My favourite part is the Juggernaut is having like breakfast or brunch when this is happening.
He's there with full of cereal, right? He's like, I can't stop.
He doesn't even get dressed up for it. He comes over in his Sunday best. So it's the Juggernaut in like a polo shirt and khakis fighting Warbound Hulk.
Someone's had their Weetabix.
And the Hulk just bats him away.
Oh my god.
So then Charles Xavier's like, seriously kids, just back down. I'll go with it, it's cool. And he's like, okay, it's over now. Then Scott Summers shoots the Hulk in the back of the head. The real X-Men are here. And the next issue is the Hulk beating the shit out of the real X-Men.
That's the thing about X-Men that kind of gets me. And like, I just want... Can there be a finite amount of X-Men, please?
How much better would it be if there was just 50 X-Men?
Yeah.
25 good, 25 bad.
And that's like... They seem to think like having the whole mutants in the universe is an excuse to just pull out weird shit out of a bag.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, this guy's a character, he can turn into a pile of snakes. I'm like... I mean, there's all this weird shit, and every now and then they'll throw out a new one, and you'll see them in like a panel in one comic, and you're like, I don't know about this character, and I don't care enough to get invested in him, but like, just give me Wolverine, give me Iceman, give me Cyclops, give me Jean Grey, Kitty Pryde,
exactly.
Angel and Beast. That's
the House of M, the No More Mutants thing, is genius. If you put it out there that there's one in every million people becomes an X-Men now, that's better.
Yeah.
Or that there will be no more mutants from here on in, so what exists in the world are what's left.
Yeah, like, and it's weird the fact that there's almost more mutants than fucking normal humans in this universe. It defeats the purpose of actually being a mutant. You're an irregularity.
Being a human is the weird thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, back to humans. So everyone starts clearing out of the city. We see Spider-Man back in his black suit.
Yeah.
Being like, alright, everybody bloody get out of New York. We're fucked. Everyone out. She-Hulk's just like, oh yeah, I could try standing up to him. It's not going to work.
Doesn't work.
Does not work whatsoever. And it's basically all the different Avengers like, do we do something? Or just are we just going to run with our tails between our legs?
Yeah.
Smart thing to do, run with your tail. He nearly killed all the X-Men. Actually, there's a great moment where the Juggernaut comes back for a second time. And he runs at Hulk in the armor this time. And the Hulk's like, oh yeah, I guess nothing can stop the Juggernaut. So he moves out of the way and trips him. He uses his momentum, trips him over the leg. And the Juggernaut, I think they pull back and the Juggernaut's like halfway across the country. So stupid and funny.
That is amazing. Actually, and I think we're kind of touched because we're looking at the Super Hulkbuster thing that Tony Stark's got going on. And I think there's a few interesting lines I think that Tony Stark has, like about, he does have the, and I would never say this is like a good thing, but he does have the kind of almost Batman v Superman, Batman mentality, the fact that he's like, I will do anything to stop this person because he's threatening Earth. And I think it is really cool that you do see Tony Stark and he's kind of an anti-hero here.
Yeah, once again, this is post-Civil War Tony Stark, so he's a changed man. Like, he's lost his close friend. He's like, fuck this, I don't care anymore.
But even looking at this crazy-ass, gigantic Hulkbuster suit, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of the best part, and I think the worst part about this particular story, because it's like, every now and then they'll have the new big thing that they're like, okay, we'll send in the Super Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
And that'll fight Hulk, and then Hulk beats it.
We'll send in the Demon Doctor Strange.
We'll send in Demon Doctor Strange, and then he beats him, and it's like, okay, we'll get Doctor Strange to create like a vision and go inside Banner's head and calm him down. But even that doesn't work.
No.
And that would be fine if they didn't reveal their trump card from the very start.
Yeah.
Because, like, they established from the start that Sentry is the only guy that can do it.
Exactly. That should have been kept till the very end.
Yeah. Then why is it so special? Why do they give so much treatment to Doctor Strange becoming a demon?
Yeah.
Like, why do they make that such a big thing when we know that he's not going to be able to fight him?
Exactly. They make the point like, Sentry's literally the only thing we have.
Yeah. So they're like, basically everything they do in front of that. I mean, I know it's like they're trying to buy time, but it's also the writers trying to buy time.
Exactly.
You could feel the writers trying.
We got to stretch this out over 5-6 issues.
They got to pack it out. Like you could do this, I think, in 3 issues.
Oh, easy.
Yeah,
like 3 issues in a couple of times.
3-part story. That's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, no, and that is my one problem with it. It's just like, oh, there's a new big thing, but it's not big enough, and we know what the big thing is. He's just a pussy bitch, and he can't do it.
It's just his own like self-esteem. He's like, I don't know, guys. Maybe I could be the Sentry.
Yeah, which I mean, I think in other stories that might be kind of compelling. It's just kind of a guy, and he's kind of scared, but he's got all this crazy power. But in a story like this, it just gets tiring.
It does. It's the fact that if Superman was like that, he's like, I don't know, I don't feel like. He's like, okay, we got all the heroes to pick. It's like, but you're literally the only one who can save us this time.
Yeah.
Do it once and you can retire again.
And they tell him that every 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And every 5 minutes he takes like a step towards the front door, and you're like, son of a bitch.
It's cold outside, guys. Forgot my jacket. Alright, so the first issue ends with the Hulk fighting the Hulkbuster. And now, I'm not a major fan of this art style. I can't remember the name of the artist, I'll look it up at some stage. But it's the guy behind Kick-Ass and whatnot. And he does a few like iconic characters here, and they kind of work. But the way he draws this fight scene is just fucking kick-ass. Like, the way it follows the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. And they just go hit for hit.
And like every page is epic here, because they're two giants.
They're massive.
Yeah.
It's, my favourite part of Age of Ultron is that fight between the Hulk and the Hulkbuster. So this gets me all, like, rustled up here, because it's fucking awesome. And
you can tell, I mean, obviously this was the direct inspiration for that whole scene.
Oh, straight up, like...
Yeah.
They're just pummeling each other. They're going... You can feel the hits. Like, they're going, like, through buildings and stuff. And... Who's that again? It's Rick Jones? It's just, we got to a lot of people's reactions to it. Yeah, like Rick Jones and She-Hulk, like, oh, maybe Tony Stark has this one. Maybe... And then the Hulk gets hit with so much, like, explosions and stuff, he has flashbacks to his wife. And that drives him enough to just rip the Hulkbuster apart.
Yeah. And I think it's worth talking about how the Hulk is drawn here, because I love the Planet Hulk, World War Hulk design of he's got this metal gauntlet arm.
Yeah.
I love that character design, but the way they represent it here, I think, with the drawing is just like, I think even it's just the face.
Yeah, no.
The faces are just a bit too cartoony for my liking.
This isn't the story for cartoony art.
Yeah.
If I was given the choice here, I would have given this to a different artist.
Yeah, and I think it's worth the time of adding that extra layer of grit and realism to it, because it is an epic. Like,
oh yeah, this is. I feel like the problem with this is they didn't know how big this event was going to be.
Yeah,
like scale wise, they're like, we just had Civil War, we can't do anything bigger than that. The Hulk's coming back, oh, big deal. And then people really like this story,
and I think, and that comes back to it. You can feel that, like, and we touched on it earlier about like there's always a new big thing.
Yeah,
it's almost like the writers didn't know exactly how much shit they were going to throw in at the start. And then they're like, okay, like what big things do we have that we could have the Hulk fight? Okay, Demon Doctor Strange. Okay, we'll throw that in.
Exactly.
Okay, a super Iron Man Hulkbuster suit. We'll throw that in. Black Bolt.
Exactly. It's what can we throw at? And this especially comes up at the ending here, because I'm not a fan of this ending.
Okay.
Like I'll get to it when we get to it, but
yeah.
it's so weird. So the first issue ends with him just destroying the Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
Just rips it apart. And one of my favorite things about this is I really do like the combat scenes. Like, it's dumb fun action, and it's not a thing you get often in comics anymore. You don't get the dumb fun. Let's just fight everything. Like, have you read Old Man Logan?
I've read New Old Man Logan, but I've never read the original arc.
In the original arc, the first 5 issues are him being a pacifist. He's like, I'm no longer Wolverine, and then spoilers.
He goes Wolverine.
He goes Wolverine. And the last issue is just blood and gore, and it's 22 pages of him killing Hulks. And that's what this also kind of feels like. It's just him, it's the Hulk just killing everything, and everyone he can. And it's the Fast and Furious of comics, where it's just so dumb and stupid, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, and in this issue he fights the Fantastic Four. And I think this is an example of one of the action beats that they really do get right, and I really love it, because in this one, like, with Demon Doctor Strange, right? When they do the Demon Doctor Strange further into the story, it's like Doctor is like, this is my last resort. It's like, this guy could blow up the world if I lose control for even a second. So like he does it, and we're like, oh, like, and it's this weird conflict. It's like, oh, maybe this will beat the Hulk, but we know that they've been setting up a Sentry for 4 issues.
Exactly.
But with the Fantastic Four, we know they can't beat him, and there's a great moment where where like Thing goes down, and he's like, well, oh, Mrs. Grimm's blue-eyed boy never gives up on a fight.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, I love it. And it's just Thing basically wrestling the Hulk, and they're there like hand like that, and Thing is like 3 feet shorter than the Hulk.
Exactly.
He's so small.
You can see the rocks breaking.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about that is, we see the She-Hulk fight here, right?
Yeah.
So, but my favorite thing about that fight, and it might be my favorite fight in the book, because you know the Thing is losing, and he knows he's losing. He's like, oh, I'm not going. I know I can never beat you. Yeah, I'm still going for it. He's still protecting his family, and that's what Fantastic Four is. It's a family story.
Yeah, and I think it's a great character beat for Ben Grimm.
It is. They've always done this thing of like, can the Thing fight the Hulk? No, he can't.
No, he can't.
He really can't.
But I love him.
He'll try. He'll try. That's what matters. One thing I also really like about this is we see the whole Fantastic Four back together. So that means, even though they split up in Civil War, such a big tragic event has kind of forced them back together as a family. Yeah, which is kind of nice, kind of sweet.
Yeah, and I think it does show that they don't stop being a superior team because 2 of them have a divorce. Like while they are also a family, they are willing to put their differences aside to kind of actually be a team.
Also, one of my favorite points, I can't remember who said this to me, but I think the Fantastic Four really could have ended World War Hulk real fast if they'd just gotten Franklin Richards out of bed.
Yeah.
They got into the next room, woke their son, was like, hey, do you guys, you know the Hulk? He's like, yeah. He's like, can you just erase him from reality?
Yeah, just for a little bit.
Just send him to the Phantom, not the Phantom Zone, the, what's that zone with the big space alien?
Negative Zone?
Negative Zone.
Yeah.
Just shoot him into the Negative Zone for a little bit.
Actually,
I think that might be Reed Richards' plan, actually. Never mind.
God, I hate... Franklin Richards as a character, fine. Like, it's cool that the Fantastic Four have a son. It would make sense. It's a natural thing, because they're a family. But, I mean, don't make him the trump card that he could literally beat any threat they come across if they got him out of bed.
Exactly. He's half cosmic energy from the Fantastic Four, and he's also a mutant.
Yeah, but they'll always be like, oh no, we can't use him, because then we're like playing God, because he's so powerful. It's like, oh, shut up.
Also, how funny is it when Reed Richards tries to fight the Hulk, because he just goes all stretchy man around him, and the Hulk gets one good hit and knocks him out immediately. I've always thought Reed Richards would be an amazing fighter if he put the time in.
Yeah, if you actually learn to fight.
Yeah, imagine Iron Man throws a punch at him, he could just absorb him, enter the suit, and disable it.
Yeah.
Reed Richards would be a terrifying, like Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Plastic Man is the most threatening character in the DC universe if it wasn't for his ice weakness.
Yeah, and that's the stretchy characters would be great villains, and I don't know why there's not more stretchy villains.
There should be.
And I think it's because they're literally too scary.
Who's the guy, and he's not Plastic Man, and he's not Mr. Fantastic, the third one?
Well, there's Yo-Yo. Who's in the Suicide Squad, who's not quite stretchy.
No, it's like this purple guy. He's like a purple and white suit. He's in Justice League, the animated series. Ginger slicked back hair.
Ginger slicked back hair. Wait, is he a goodie or a baddie?
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
He's a goodie.
He's a goodie.
Fuck, this is gonna annoy me. He's turning up in season 3 of The Flash. Season 4 of The Flash.
Huh.
Oh. It's not Malibu, man. It's something silly like that, though. As if that hasn't been done already. Once again, we cut back to the Sentry just watching TV.
Oh, God, yeah.
Come on, Sentry. Also, I love this idea that there's just these protesters go green, as in come on, big guy.
And I think this is the part of the story that's kind of ham-fisted. It's all the people are go on Hulk.
Yeah, he's
go Hulk.
He's the people's champion.
And I mean, to a certain degree it makes sense, but I think it's a bit too we're trying to be political.
It's like if an alien came from space right now and he's I want to go to a war with Donald Trump, he has to fight me in an arena. Everybody yeah, go big alien guy.
Yeah, and from that point of view I guess he kind of wants to it's he's a known quantity, he's in shady, he doesn't work in the shadows, he's he's a big green guy. Big green man. That's all you gotta know about Reed Richards and Tony Stark. You don't know what they're scheming, planning.
No. I do not trust Tony Stark. He'll build an Ultron or something.
Yeah.
He'll be oh no, my new suit's here to sit on, somebody stole my suit.
Yeah. And that's the thing, everybody knows Hulk is Hulk and he'll do what he'll do.
Yeah.
But Reed Richards and Tony Stark, you don't know what depths they'll sink to.
The more you say it, I don't trust anybody in the Illuminati. Charles Xavier's fucking with your mind.
Yeah.
Black Bolt's got a secret city on the moon.
Yeah, he's not even human.
No, he's inhuman.
He's inhuman. They made a point of saying.
Yeah. Fucking Reed Richards is always scheming. He's going to open a hole to the to the negative zone. I'm going to keep saying phantom zone.
Yeah.
To the negative zone. Charles Xavier's screwing your mind. Tony Stark's building Ultrons. Nobody on there is a good guy.
So I mean, from a certain point it makes sense, but I don't think they were writing on that level.
No.
So I mean, I think you could look too much into it and then try to justify it and be apologetic.
I think they just got lucky with that.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, they just lucky. Yeah.
They could have easily picked Thor, Captain America, and Ant-Man.
And at the same time, I don't know what it does to service the story.
No, it does not.
It's not there's a part where Iron Man's about to beat up Hulk, and then all the city's hey, you mess with one of us, you mess with the green guy, you mess with all of us, and they start throwing bricks at him. And they're just there on the bridge.
Oh fuck! I wish that was in this story.
Yeah, they're all there with green face paint on. It's
Oh, they knocked Tony Stark out of the Hulkbuster with a brick in the head. Okay, so we have this great moment where Rick Jones is just hey Hulk, I thought you'd be real cool for a minute.
Take a chill pill, man.
Although I do like the tension in this moment because the Hulk's just I'm not going to hurt you. Move.
Yeah, no, and I do like the whole Rick Jones thing. I think that's cool.
And then
because it's a way of combating the Hulk that isn't just we'll get a big thing.
Yeah, and he's hey, humanity's not that bad. Come on, Hulk, I was your friend. And then immediately Doctor Strange hits him with a magic attack. Fucking timing, man.
But we do get a great bit. And we get General Ross coming in. With his army of adamantium guns.
That's how that issue ends. The second issue is with Thaddeus Ross. It's alright boys, I've been planning for this.
And I do like that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of General Ross.
He's one of those doomsday preppers. And it's when the apocalypse comes, they're I told you! You said me shitting in a bucket and storing up cabbage was foolish, but now who's laughing? I've got an underground bunker ready to go. Alright. Also, the cover art on this is amazing, and it must have been real bad when you pick that up in the store and then open up the kick-ass guy's art.
Damn, that is great.
Isn't it?
So basically they throw everything at him while Doctor Strange is combating him in his mind.
Yeah. And Thaddeus Ross is this is it. This is my moment, boys. Let's blow this fucker right up.
Yeah.
And they hit him with literally everything while Doctor Strange talks to him on the astral plane.
And I love this bit where and it's some kind of magic bullshit because it means that Doctor Strange actually has a physical form inside of Hulk's brain, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, it's so funny.
Because Doctor Strange chooses to like go turn to his physical form inside the astral plane and talk to Banner.
Yeah.
Physical form to mental.
He's like, let's talk man to man. He turns back to the Hulk,
which makes no sense at all.
He turns back to Bruce Banner, and Doctor Strange is like, all right, I'm here now. It's cool.
And he goes over to Banner, and Banner fucking breaks his hands.
My favourite part is there's this little 3-panel moment where they're talking, and then Doctor Strange is looking up and shadows creeping on his face. He looks up and you can see the oh fuck moment.
Yeah.
And Banner just breaks his hands again.
And that's a great panel as well. It's him breaking Doctor Strange's hands, and then for some reason his hands are broken in real life as well. It doesn't make any sense.
It's Nightmare on Elm Street logic. If you hurt in the dream, you're hurt in real life.
Which, and that's my problem with Nightmare on Elm Street. They never really like me. You can explain a guy who kills you in your dreams, and you're just kind of dead when you.
Yeah, you wake up dead.
Fair enough with that.
But if he slashes you across the chest,
that doesn't make any sense.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, no, and it's the same. He breaks his hands, and then Iron Fist is just there looking at Strange, and then Strange comes out of the astral plane, and Iron Fist is like, "What the fuck happened to you?"
Well, I guess if your hands were made of iron, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
I told
you. Laughing now.
Iron Fist. Oh, so he starts ripping apart the tank. So Thaddeus Ross is like,
snapped out of it, and he's fighting back.
I like the idea that he's just like, boys, this is too easy. I got this one. Told you I could win. And then the Hulk wakes up. He's like, oh, yeah. So he does my favorite Hulk move of all time, the Thunderclap.
The Thunderclap.
It's so stupid.
It's the most comic booky thing I think people have ever invented.
I want to see it in everything. Like, I want to see him use it to send somebody flying, to blow up a tank. It's just so stupid. I love it. And I love Wong's here just trying to treat Doctor Strange's hands. He's like, I got you, dog. It's cool.
Yeah.
And once again, we come back to the Sentry, and now he's stood up from the television. Alright, question time. Who was slower, Thanos or the Sentry? Like, who does it take longer to get out of a chair and do something?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say Thanos, because he doesn't seem to have any excuse other than he's just lazy. At least Sentry is like a coward, but Thanos, like, he just has no reason not to go in and do it.
Thanos is so lazy his chair has to move for him.
Yeah, they've been teasing for 5 bloody years.
Yeah, like, I mean, who's that lazy? Apart from Charles Xavier, who's that lazy?
Yeah. Bloody lazy bastard, Charles Xavier.
If I was Charles Xavier, I'd be a terrible Charles Xavier, but if I was Charles Xavier, I'd just mind control people to carry me on their backs, like Hodor style. Like, imagine if the Juggernaut's just giving you piggybacks everywhere. That'd be great.
That would be amazing. Alright,
so we see a couple of characters, including Hawkeye, try to take down the Warbound, and they just rip him apart.
Yeah.
Also, Hawkeye's costume, this is real stupid. This is back when he was pretending to be Ronin.
Wait, what
the one who kind of looks like Black Panther mixed with Scorpion. That's Hawkeye. Big reveal, that's Hawkeye.
What?
Spoilers.
That is so dumb.
Isn't it?
Why is he using a sword?
Also, I'm happy to see Iron Fist is as useless here as he is in everything else.
Yeah.
In his own show, he just gets flung through a wall immediately. Doctor Strange is just still crying about his hands. And that's all this issue is. It's just...
Then Hulk gets that's a pretty sweet panel, to be fair.
Isn't it? That's an iconic moment.
Because the shade kind of hides the cartoony faces, and it's just Hulk sitting on this big concrete throne with a lot of rebar sticking out of it.
And I think it's... Where is this? It's Madison Square Garden is where he's done this. Where he's like in full center view. And then we have Meek here who's just like... Yeah, you should destroy them all.
Yeah.
Do they do his... They have to do his clicks in this, don't they? I'm sorry, I'm looking at this dialogue.
Well, that's Brood, isn't it? Or is that Meek?
I think that's Meek, but I can't tell honestly, because Meek changes from World War Hulk to thing. That's Brood there.
Okay.
Yeah, Brood's interrogating Rick Jones.
Yeah, okay, and that's...
Oh, wait, is that Meek? It's hard to tell.
Okay, that's Meek, because he doesn't have the big long head like Alien does.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And does he have the clicks? He doesn't have the clicks.
He's got the weird... I love when comics do that, like when someone's got a half creepy voice, they just give him a big wavy speech bubble.
You know where that started?
Where?
Rorschach and Watchmen.
Really?
Yeah, in Rorschach and Watchmen, his speech panels are normal before the event with the little girl, and after that, anytime we see him, they're broken.
That's so cool.
So if there's a flashback to him with the Minutemen, they're normal, but in the present day, they're all broken up.
Nice.
Little touches. Alright, so buddy, one of the Warbound gets dropped. Fucking Doctor Strange is like, oh yeah, it's demon time. My favourite part about this is because he's gotten Dormammu's powers, is it?
He's summoned the power of some... I think it'll say the name here. Also, we get the line "Strange Smash."
Fucking... Okay.
He summons the power of some ancient demon. It isn't Dormammu, but it's like...
Yeah,
it's a one-syllable name. It's like Ankh, or Planker, I don't know.
Plank, the character from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
And again, lovely finishing panel there. That's really cool.
Also, I love how my favorite part about this is his hands are so fucked up. He just gets 2 spike balls instead.
I never noticed that.
It's so stupid. You see, it looks fine there in a still shot, but in issue 4 when they actually fight, it looks so cartoony when he hits the Hulk with like a flail. Oh shit! This is a really entertaining comic, all the same. Like, for how stupid it... Oh, bugger. 1 sec, I knocked it off.
Yeah, no, it's one that, like, I basically do it all in a day.
Oh, yeah, no, I did this in, like, an hour or 2 hours. It's one of those stories that you can, though.
Yeah.
So the Hulk has set up a gladiator cell arena, which is a throwback to Planet Hulk, in Madison Square Garden. And he's just set these other superheroes up to fight there. But first he has to take on Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is just whooping the Warband with his new demon powers. And then he just puts one of his spiky hands inside the Hulk. But will that stop the Hulk? No, it will not.
No, it doesn't.
Because we've already established that this story is about the Sentry fighting the Hulk. So it is useless to imagine anybody else could.
No matter how many panels they show of Doctor Strange, like, punching the Hulk in the face, and, like, blood flies out of his mouth, and he's like, "No, Hulk, you're not the strongest, I am the strongest." No matter how much he says that, we know that Hulk is going to beat him.
Nothing is more angry than magic.
Yeah.
There's no way to win this fight. Like, straight up, there's nothing.
Even if there's, like, a solid page worth of panels of just kind of explosions.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it, it's just skrgarg, clank and dank, and that's it.
I can't even make out what's happening on that page.
Yeah.
It's just explosions in the Hulk's face.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, you think Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons would do that shit back in the day? No,
no.
Like, cause I mean, like, what? There's no information.
You know what that feels like?
What?
That feels like Frank Miller.
Oh, yeah.
That feels like a Frank Miller page right there.
Like, I think you see that panel, you see the outline of Strange's Collar, you do that panel, and then you do actual other drawings for the other ones instead of weird.
Krakatam, Skaram, Hakam, Kraham. Fucking. I should read these sound effects on more often. They're great. So the Hulk's just wiped Doctor Strange out, and he's taken all the heroes. He's got them tied up in little electric cuffs. And he's like, alright, we're going to have the big guys fight this big old spiky monster thing. But none of them have their powers. Which, when you think about it, when you take away Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and Doctor Strange's powers, kind of fucked.
Yeah.
None of them
they're
are
all
fighters.
They're all old fellas now.
I mean, Doctor Strange kind of has kung fu powers, but his hands are both broken.
And I like the way they just kind of, like, the Warband, they just brought a big tentacle spiky monster with them.
Yeah,
it's like, we'll use this later. Keep it in a box.
I love that's the idea. It's like, oh yeah, we just found him under the rug, so we kept him till now. See that?
You know, we don't like to throw anything
exactly.
Waste not, want not.
Well, man's trash is another man's treasure. We just find this spiky monster. Yeah, we got a good deal on it.
And I think, like, I mean, as like, okay, you know, yeah, Hulky's like getting his revenge, just forcing him to fight. It's really super villainy.
Oh yeah, that's
like
straight.
It really is, and I mean, I think that's a matter of taste. Personally, I don't really like it. I think I would prefer it if just Hulk beat the crap out of them, and there's a moment where he's like, I just wanted to show you that I could. Yeah. Or better yet, he just wanted to kill them.
Yeah, no, that would have worked as well.
I think it would have been a bit more compelling.
This is a callback to World War Hulk, though, because that's the first monster they fight in World War Hulk.
Okay, yeah.
Where it's like, they fight, I don't think it's the exact tentacle monster, because I think the Hulk killed that, but it's one of those.
Well, you know, I think, and you get to go to that on that iconic cover from Planet Hulk. It's like Hulk with like a shield or something like that, and the tentacles come around. Yeah,
exactly. It's that monster, and I love how they're so unskilled. They got to get Black Bolt to just kill this thing because he's the only one who's an actual fighter.
Yeah.
The Hulk's just like, okay, here you guys can have a few swords. Why not? What shits and giggle. And I thought you were joking earlier when it's like the sentry gets closer to the door. But there's a whole page of him just standing in the doorway.
He's standing in the open door frame,
so
and then
funny.
he doesn't even wait. Hold on, is he going to do it?
No,
it's just a zoom in on his eyes. Oh, Jesus.
It's so fucking stupid and funny. So we get some gladiator style fighting, and all the heroes like, no! Yet the crowd are loving it.
Yeah.
And I think I want to say that's not going to happen, but if that happened, we'd all be on board with it as well. Like, we love superhero versus superhero fights.
Yeah, I think though, I mean, it does kind of like, I imagine some of them would be like, well, these are our only line of defense against alien invaders. Should we be shitting ourselves?
Then again, if Hulk takes over the planet, no more aliens are coming near us.
That is true.
It's the same as if Doctor Doom took over. I think we'd be in a better world if Doctor Doom took over.
And they touch on that, they say that Latveria is a really prosperous, safe place to live.
The only problem with Latveria is nobody with power is allowed. So if your son turns out to be a mutant, everyone out of the country, family's kicked out, you've been shamed forever.
Actually, fucking hell. Did you ever hear that story where fucking Reed is off doing something, he's like in the negative zone or something like that, and Sue Storm is going into labour.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, there's no one smart enough to do like a baby delivery this complicated. Who do we know that can do that? So they call up Victor Von fucking Doom, their arch nemesis, and they're like, look, I know we fight, but can you deliver a baby? And Dr. Doom is like, sure. And he does it.
He does it on the one. It's for two reasons. One, to prove he's better than Richards.
And he gets to name it, doesn't he?
Gets to give it the name. He gets to name it. Okay, you can choose the middle name. What's their daughter's name again? It's like Valerian Doom Richards or something like that. Valerian Doomstorm Richards or something stupid like that. Oh
my god, I love Dr. Doom. He's both the smartest and the most petty villain.
He so is.
Like, no, there's a bit where there's this universe breaking thing, like Galactus is like threatening the world, and like as a last resort, like someone they call to Doomstorm, they're like, look, we know you're the only guy who can devise like a device smart enough to fight Galactus. And it was like, but we asked one of our heroes who we thought was smart enough, but he fucked up and he's been taken out, so we came to you now. And Dr. Doom was like, he says it because he always talks in third person. He said, Doom is nobody's second choice, and he slams the door in their face. And that's how it turned. He would let his planet explode because he's so petty.
That's so funny.
It's amazing.
You ever read Infinity Gauntlet? Actually,
I haven't.
There's a great Doom moment in that where like all the Avengers and stuff have come together to track down Thanos, and Doom is just doing his own private investigation into Thanos.
He's got a hat on. He's got a.
And then, like, towards the end of the fight, Doom flies in his own little rocket ship to take on Thanos. It's so stupid and funny. Or when Luke Cage beat him up for $50.
And it was $200 and Doom wouldn't pay him back. He refused.
But that proves how much of a dick Reed Richards is as well. He's like, oh, this is really gonna fuck Doom up. Alright, no, it's cool, Luke, we'll fly. It costs like 3,000 jet fuel to fly to Latveria, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, we could just give you your money. And that would be
we own a building, we're very rich, but no, we're flying you there. Alright, so we have the Illuminati just kind of going for each other. And I think it's bullshit, because Reed Richards' thing kind of malfunctions, so he can use his powers. So he's got his stretchy man powers.
Well, that's the whole purpose of the problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, Tony Stark only has just like a door. Like a door. Oh, fuck. And then he's like, should I kill him? And fucking the Hulk gives him the good old-fashioned gladiator thumbs down.
Nice.
And finally, the Sentry has left his room.
I love that page-length panel. It's just the Hulk's big-ass arm and a big thumbs down. I like it.
Well, especially because I think that's a 2-panel page. I think that's like a sideways, like 2-panel page. Alright, and now we're finally on to the final issue. It feels like it's been a very long time getting to that final issue.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you read this plus Planet Hulk at the same time. That must be a long fucking haul.
Yeah, especially because, after Planet Hulk, and then it's just like... It takes Hulk so long to get his actual revenge.
That's 20 issues. What's 20 times 22?
440 or something like that?
This whole arc is about 450 pages long. Which is long, but still not the length of Nightfall, so I can't say much. Alright, so they don't kill each other in the end. And the Hulk is like, there, you've learned what it's like to be warbound. I'm happy now. And fucking Sentry just turns up like a motherfucker. Sentry just starts going to town on the Hulk. They're wrecking the city. The fucking Fantastic Four are like, alright, let's just get everybody out of here. And they work with the warbound to try and just get people out of the arena. And Sentry and Hulk, we see them hit the hardest they've ever hit before. And this is when we see Hulk at his strongest, the World Breaker Hulk. Where one step he can cause an earthquake, with a punch he'll shatter a city. He's practically a god at this stage. And once again we get this art style. Can you describe to me what's happening on this page here?
God damn. Like, it looks like someone, if they were filming this with an actual camera, they just cranked the ISO up to like full, and they just absorbed the massive amount of light, and you can't make out a thing that's going on.
No, it's just so much light and fire and
it's like, and no variation in colour.
No.
Really, it's that for so many pages. Half this issue is that.
yeah, half this. The colorist on this just had an easy job.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we want some orange, a little yellow, a little red. It's like, got you covered.
It's just loads of oranges and whites.
Even the visually, the panels look super similar.
Yeah.
Like, it goes from the mid shot of them like going for a punch to a slightly above of the exact same shot to slightly pulled back to slightly, like that panel there could be the same one as that. He's just zoomed out.
Yeah.
Same there. He just put a kaboom over it. Good old fashioned kaboom. We don't get it.
Oh my god! Like what?
Yeah, no, it becomes. It's just their outlines with like white light and fire.
And I think that's what comic higher-ups think maybe like kind of epicness looks like on comics. Nah, man, that's not it.
They need more smoke and lightning. I've seen Batman vs Superman. You need more smoke and lightning.
Do mainstream comics have the same problem as DC superhero movies? In the third act, they just make it a mess of lightning and
This one does anyway.
This one does.
Holy crap! This is also the guy who's drawn Batman at the moment. So just saying. He's doing All-Star Batman, and I think he must have the biggest balls ever to jump on anything with the words All-Star and Batman in it.
Particularly when the former artist was Jim Lee.
Yeah, and it was All-Star Batman and Robin, which is a story we have to do because it is the worst Batman story ever. Oh my god! And I've read Dark Knight Strikes Again, and I can say this is the worst one ever. Alright, so they shrink back down. And they're like, well, we've had a bloody good fight.
They're just two naked dudes looking at each other.
We got it out of our system. We both needed that.
I do kind of like that one. I think that is just hilarious. They're just two naked guys just like standing at each other. They're all bleeding and stuff like that. They're just like...
Was it good for you? It was good for me.
Yeah.
It's the world made of cardboard thing from Justice League where Superman is like, every now and again somebody comes along. But you, big guy, you can take it. So they're good, and then what's his name? Rick Jones, the Hulk's good friend, is just like, oh yeah, I figured it out. It turns out it wasn't the Illuminati, it was Meek.
It was me.
What a cunt! And before he can finish, Meek just stabs him in the heart.
Oh shit! Oh, I forgot that.
This is like the 5th time Rick Jones has died. He dies in Secret Empire, the new Captain America event. I think they shoot him. There's a great moment actually in that where Captain America's like, you know, if you just renounce them and tell us what you stole, we won't kill you. He's like, yeah, but I gotta stick by my guns. I'm like, fuck that, no, I'm telling them everything. But yeah, he freaks out and hulks up one more time and just rips Meek apart, slaps the Warbound around. Holy shit, did he just curb stomp?
Is that Korg?
Yeah, he just crushed Korg.
Oh my god.
Were they all in on it? You see, I forgot this part. Were they all in on it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I forgot they were all... Yeah, because, I mean...
He just rips his Warband apart.
Fighting...
I guess this is a quick wrap-up for the fact that you've got characters that are all the strength of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta get rid of all of those fast. More white light. Fucking rips the Brood apart. And he does the fucking thunderclap radiation. And this is when he's in proper World Breaker Hulk now. He's angrier than ever. And we have that iconic shot where he takes a step and there's just earthquakes across the world. Like, the whole planet's falling apart, the tide's going crazy.
And I do appreciate this, because, like, you see, like, kind of the ripples of green, it's like, and I like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's no big, like, hiding explosion. Like, that's pretty cool, because they only stick to that for one panel, and they move on.
If only Black Widow was here to sing to him. That would save everyone. Fucking...
Okay, we got 4 panels of one laser coming out of a satellite. Great.
Please tell me that's Tony Stark. That's what Tony Stark was setting up, wasn't it? He's like, alright, space laser, boys.
Yeah.
This is the one. Does not affect him whatsoever.
Back to craziness.
I mean, I can't even tell what this panel is.
Yeah, it's...
They all just burn together.
So, to give you a description of what's happening, I think Sentinel... It was about to freak out, but then Tony Stark hit him with a space laser.
Yeah, he's like, okay, let's try to put the Hulk down and the Sentinel fast. And you know what? It kind of worked. Because it just absorbed all the energy from Bruce Banner, so he's just laying there in a crater. And then shields take him away in a big metal suitcase. Where I was like, okay, let's put him in here. I think it was funnier had it been the Hannibal Lecter thing. Yeah. It's like over the mouth, like tied back.
I thought they just like pumped itself full of like marijuana so he can't get too angry. He's just chill as fuck.
They should just lobotomize the Hulk, but they have the chance. They have him in a room that's just absorbing radiation. And we cut back to Planet Sakaar, which is just a barren wasteland. But what's this? There's another Hulk?
Oh, it's his son, yeah.
Yeah, fucking... What's his son's name, actually?
Fuck, I feel like... Did they say it there?
Check what it said there.
His rage will never die. Planet Sakaar. New War Hulk.
It's something with Ness, anyway. But yeah, fucking... This sets up the Hulk having a son. It sets up fucking a lot of arcs to come.
Yeah. And that is a cool panel, admittedly.
It is really cool. I mean, the Hulk's son's forearm is really fucking long.
Yeah, and it's just basically... Like the Hulk's son, he's got really long hair and he's rising out of this green swamp thing. Yeah. It's really cool.
There's actually a reveal that he's still a little boy, though. The spoilers for later on, there's a great Hulk follow-up story where he fights his own son. And the reveal is his son turns back and he's just a 10-year-old boy. Or like a 5-year-old boy.
That's really cool.
It's so cool. And then the reveal is like the Hulk's become his own abusive father. Like the thing that bullied Bruce Banner.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there's been a lot of great stuff that comes with this. Like Siege, this, fucking... It's good. Overall, where do you rank this in kind of events?
I mean... I'm good, like...
I love how I was really positive at the start of this, but I've gotten so sour towards as we reread it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, like, as comics go, it's a pretty damn good one.
Yeah, no.
Like, there's some really bad comics out there, and this one is not a bad comic. It is good.
It's a good event.
Yeah,
it works well as an event.
Yeah, there's just like some, I don't know what to call them, pacing or just general story issues. The way that they just maybe and as we said, you could do this 3 issues easily and just have like. But then again, you know, that's less money for the...
No, less
money for the art.
Comics don't make a lot of money anyway. We need all we can get.
And like, so I think you could just do a 3-piece thing and just have one of these crazy, ridiculous things that just kind of happened. Or if you're going to do 6 issues, just find some way to kind of vary it up.
Yeah.
Maybe have Hulk not just based in that one city. Maybe he goes and he fights Namor in Atlantis or something like that.
You see, that's what the tie-ins are as well, you see. So,
oh, really? Okay.
You got one where he fights Ghost Rider in LA, or he fights fucking the X-Men at their mutant place.
So at what stage do those tie-ins actually occur? Because he seems to be in the city for the whole thing.
It's in the 24 hours he gives them to clear out.
Okay.
So you guys have 24 hours, and in that time, different heroes just try their luck.
I see. Yes, I mean, well, and that's it. Like, I can't judge because technically, I guess I haven't read the full arc if I haven't read the tie-ins. But
no, you don't need to read.
I mean, like it's. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Like my problem is, and it's my one problem, it doesn't have lasting effects. Like, there's 1 or 2 knock-ons, like the Hulk having a son, and maybe people don't trust the Hulk. But people didn't trust the Hulk before this.
People never trust the Hulk. Yeah, no, they make a point in this of saying they never trusted the Hulk.
Thunderbolt Ross is like, I never trusted that green fucker, and look where it got.
I'll tell you what should happen after this, right?
What?
Like, from this point on, after this comic book, anytime General Ross says something in a board meeting, everybody agrees with him because they're like, "You're absolutely right, General Ross. You were right the last time. He threatens to take over the world, okay? We agree with you. Ross will do anything."
You see, that's the way it should have gone, but instead he became the Red Hulk.
How does that actually happen?
I think he just hulks himself. I don't know how it happens.
Cool. Actually, does he have the mustache as Red Hulk?
He doesn't, but the new one does. The newer version, he has big eyebrows and the mustache is Red Hulk.
Yes.
Which is genius. You see, you do or you die there, because when they introduced the Red Hulk, they didn't reveal who he was straight away. Same with female Thor. So had the Red Hulk had a big old mustache, that would have been a giveaway.
Yeah.
It's either Thunderbolt Ross or J. Jonah Jameson, 2 very angry men.
Yeah.
How have those characters never met before?
Actually, yeah, I want to see an issue where Thaddeus Ross just goes to the J. Jonah Jameson's office and they rant about bloody catching superheroes.
Oh, they're all a bunch of menaces.
Yeah.
Okay, overall, I really like this as an event. Like, it's like Civil War or Secret Invasion. It's one of those Marvel events I'm like, that's actually really cool.
And I want to see it movie-ized.
I genuinely think this could be your Avengers 4. Like, you do Infinity Gauntlet next.
Fucking imagine if that's how it went. I mean, they'd never do it because, I mean... No, I think, like Thanos, obviously, it will have to be a 2-part event, but I think I think that, we've talked about it before, I think they'll make it Secret Invasion or Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're 2 very different things.
Yeah,
but, you know, like, I think you could do both because you could work Thanos into both of them.
Exactly.
And you could make him the figurehead, the villain in both those arcs. But
even a fifth Avengers movie. My thing is, I think you disband the Avengers, they're gone for good, and then the Hulk comes back, he's like, you fuckers fucked me over. But most of the Avengers are dead or gone, so you get the new generation of Avengers having to take care of the mistakes of the old one.
Yeah.
So imagine if like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and Ant-Man had to deal with Tony Stark's mistakes.
Yeah.
That would be a sick movie.
It's instead of like, it fits with the theme of the Avengers always having to deal with Tony Stark's mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 'cause I mean, like, and this would make a great movie. I'm just trying to think, because okay, with Ragnarok, things the Hulk's exile in Ragnarok is a self-imposed one.
Yeah.
So they would have to come up with something drastic.
Yeah.
To kind of be the catalyst for World War Hulk. I'm trying to think. I mean,
could be he goes back to that planet. Like, you can come back to Earth with us now, Hulk. He's like, no, I want to go back to Sakaar. I knew what it was like there. I understood everything back there.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me. And then maybe they don't stop Thanos before he blows up Sakaar, or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, you could have taken the gauntlet. You could have hidden the gems. You could have done something, and he blew up my planet.
Or it's like, okay, Thanos destroys Sakaar, right?
Yep.
And then they defeat Thanos eventually, and they spend all the Infinity Stones, and Hulk is like, you could just rewind time with the time gem and fix my planet. And Strange is like, he's learned from his mistake. He's like, no, we can't just fuck around with time anymore. And
we need something more powerful. We need the whole gauntlet for that.
Yeah, and Hulk is like, you're an idiot. You could just totally do it. And Strange is like, no, it's morally wrong because we're fucking with time. And I mean, you could do it like that.
Yeah, anybody you've ever lost, anybody who's ever been hurt, we could save them, bring them back. We could end all wars.
Yeah.
You give Hulk this power. Hulk is strong enough to wield it.
Also, and that is the thing I'm excited for. Some people I think are unsure of, understandably, is that in the trailer for Ragnarok, Hulk speaks properly.
Yeah.
Like with kind of 4-year-old vocabulary. So I mean, I am kind of happy because it does build up to stuff like this.
Yeah.
Where you can eventually just say that. I mean, and it's a shame because I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't like to see a movie that's like kind of just entirely without Mark Ruffalo, even though he does do the mocap for the Hulk, obviously. Yeah. But I mean, like, I think his Bruce Banner is really good.
I'd like a 70-30 split if you were to do a Planet Hulk, where it's like he's Hulk most of the time, but where he has calm moments where he turns back to Banner.
Yeah.
Where it's the reverse, where normally it's like, oh yeah, for 10 minutes at a time he'll turn into the Hulk. 10 minutes at a time he turns into Banner, and it feels like a big thing if he turns to Banner.
Yeah, no, and that's, you can make it impactful. Like at the end, like his Warband are all following him.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you know, we should destroy all these planets, and then he turns back into Banner. It's this big thing because I'm like, I'm just a dude, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm not the Green Sakaar. I'm not your god. If you want to stand with me, that's fine. But if not, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that'd be so cool. Marvel, if you ever hear this, Kevin Feige, if you're out there, feel free to rip me off.
How are we doing? We got an hour 12 minutes.
Hour and 12 minutes.
That's not bad.
Let's wrap it up, shall we?
Yeah.
What story should we do next time? Write in, tell us. I've been Jack for Panel by Panel, and thank you for being my spectacular guest. I was going to say co-host. Guest. For now.
Well, my pleasure. This has actually been really fun.
See, right? Yeah. Once we get back to audio, it's real fun and real entertaining. We got something to talk about. It's a good time.
Yeah. We don't have anyone distractingly on their phones. We're just using the phone for an actual utility.
Exactly. We don't have anybody zoning out, and you kind of need to be involved for a two-man show.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I've been Jack.
And I've been Dan.
We'll be back next time. Stay classy.